Hello, and welcome to the technology video about the Hub, Ameren's innovative learning space. The Hub is the name of the learning space I've developed for this project. This video will explain what new technologies in training and learning are available for the workplace and why they are necessary in an innovative learning space. Make sure you check out the floor plan on my Wix page 2 for more information. Before we move on, here is a graphic of the 5 trends shaping the future of work. This has been established by Jacob Morgan, who is a best-selling author, futurist, and globally sought-after keynote speaker on the future of work, employee experience, and leadership. I've watched a bunch of his videos and read a lot of his thoughts on this subject, and it makes a lot of sense. Number 1, new behaviors. New behaviors are focused on social media. Most of us are now more comfortable living a more public life. We share our thoughts on blogs, post reviews on Yelp, have our entire professional history on LinkedIn, show pictures on Twitter, and engage in open conversations on Facebook. Virtually every aspect of business behavior has changed too, including the way we share, communicate, collaborate, teach, learn, find information, access technology, and create content. This is forcing organizations to rethink and reimagine the way we work and learn. Number 2, technologies. New technologies must be integrated into the workplace or that workplace will be left behind. The workplaces that embrace these changes and upgrades in technology will position themselves better for cost optimization and increased competitiveness. Number 3, the millennial workforce. In the next 5 years, 45% of Ameren's workforce will be eligible for retirement. As longtime employees retire, a younger generation is entering the workforce who learn differently, have different behaviors, and are familiar and accustomed to new and innovative technologies. According to New in HR, in 2020, 5 generations will be working together in the workplace. Traditionalists born 1900 to 1945, Boomers born 1946 to 1964, Gen X born 1965 to 1976, Millennial born 1977 to 1997, and Gen 2020, born past 1997. With 5 different generations working together in the workplace, there are bound to be some major differences, not only in age, but also expectations of what the workplace should provide, including technologies in training and learning. Number 4, mobility. Employees today are able to work anytime and on any device. For example, working from home is growing increasingly popular with organizations when they realize that the company will get more out of their employees because instead of calling in for work at the last minute due to a sick child, the employee can log in from home just as if they were in the office. Number 5, globalization. In today's world, there are no boundaries when it comes to where organizations can gain the best employees from. With technologies such as Skype, live meetings create a way for teams to work together from across the office or on the other side of the world. With all of these new workforce trends going on, Ameren is not immune and is beginning to update the way they look at training and learning and how they feel about advancements in the workplace. Organizations like Ameren are changing from creating a place where they assume employees need to work to creating an environment where employees want to work. Let me tell you about the scenario I was given. I have been tasked to create an innovative learning space for office workers at Ameren. This innovative space will offer new and emerging technologies to support teaching, training, and learning. Implementation of current trends in learning space design will be used. The design will be based on learning principles that support social and active learning strategies. Finally, the innovative space will need implementation procedures established. And this is the overview of what my plans entail pertaining to my workplace, which is Ameren. I have been tasked with creating an innovative space for current Ameren General Office Building GOB employees. The GOB encompasses all of the administrative functions for the entire company. The GOB houses approximately 2,500 employees in an office building in downtown St. Louis that has been around since 1955. It needs a lot of updates. Updates not only to the look and feel of the building, but also updates in what technologies are being used for training purposes. I will create an innovative space that uses new and emerging technologies to support training and learning at Ameren's GOB facility. Also, implementation of current trends in innovative space design will be used, along with learning principles that support social and active learning strategies. The first thing I chose to create was the location of the innovative learning space. Does this look like an innovative learning environment that is conducive to all learning styles? Oh, those chairs, they look so uncomfortable. Their ergonomics is terrible. Look at how all of their backs are hunched over to look down at the screen. This setup does not lend itself well to any of today's learning space design trends. I, for one, would not want to spend any amount of time in this training space. Now this is more like it. This is the hub, Ameren's innovative learning space. For my purposes, the innovative space needed to be just that, a bright, open space conducive to learning. When working in groups or trying to process something in your head, it is desirable to have an open space where you are able to think and process information while not feeling like you are disturbing your neighbor. The forward-thinking space that I created is a very large space, but it is not cluttered with a lot of furniture and computers. I wanted there to be places for people to be able to pull a few movable walls together and to be able to have a small group discussion without distractions of other activities going on in the same space. Also, most of the tables and chairs used in the innovative space are movable, so if someone needs to pull themselves aside and work on something away from the group, they are able to. The next technology that seems to be advancing every time you look is the item that most of us use every day and just kind of take for granted. A lot of times, the training and learning centers and organizations are the last places to be upgraded. They are put on the back burner until all of the other locations have been updated. These giant computers were great when they were the only thing available, although they do produce a lot of heat, which tends to make people sleepy and less likely to pay attention. Today's computers, which are often laptops, are smaller and lighter than most books I used to carry around school. Laptops are a perfect technology to be used at the hub because they can be taken anywhere and can be used to collaborate. Today's computers and laptops are faster, can handle a lot of work, and are better priced. Today's mobility in the workplace adds value and efficiency to business. A survey found that mobility increases workplace productivity by 55%. When you have workplace mobility, it's like always having employees within reach. Likewise, employees will always have the resources they need at their fingertips. Availability works both ways, and when done correctly, leads to better workplace communication, the ability to instantly reach employees who do remote work, and more productivity for employees, leaving more time for training and learning. No longer are the days of corded phones, otherwise known as landlines. A study from CDW LLC shows that 50% of employees find the smartphone to be the most helpful mobile device for everyday work tasks. Also, 60% of employees say smartphones have made the greatest change in the way their company does business. Smartphones are a great technology for the hub because everyone has one, and they are perfect tools for on-the-spot trainings and reminders. A new lineman may have a series of micro-trainings to complete before they are released to work on power lines. Smartphones make it easy for employees to complete the trainings from the hub and have someone available for on-the-spot questions and answers. Before email was available, I am told that everyone sent work communications and messages through interoffice mail. Can you imagine waiting 2 days for someone to get the envelope with the invoices you need approved before you can release the funds? I asked a coworker how written communication was handled at Ameren before the world of email. This is what he had to share. Paper, tons and tons of paper. We had rooms and rooms of filing cabinets, mountains of paper and file folders on your desk. Instead of just emailing a document to a group of 50 people, we take the original to the copy room, the clerk would make 50 copies, and then another clerk would push a cart around distributing the copies. You had to fill out a copy request form just right, or it just wouldn't get done. We kept index binders by all the file cabinets, and every time something changed, we had to reprint the entire index. Typewriters were used, which was awful, because if you made a mistake, you used whiteout. If the mistake was huge, you retyped the whole thing. This just sounds awful. Just think about how much time and effort email saves us. Email will be a huge help at the hub. First, email is a great use for marketing tools to promote the new innovative learning space and all it has to offer. A monthly newsletter for the hub will be emailed out to the company promoting special sessions, new training classes, and an updated calendar for the following month. How-tos will be sent out as well by email to give quick tips and tools on new technologies and trends in training. Have a seat. Does this look comfortable for a 2-day training class? Those desk chair combos are not comfortable in the slightest, and they are so close together. There is no room to be able to do anything except get yourself situated and stay put until everyone else gets up. This setup does not lend itself well to any of today's learning space design trends. Now this is so great. I think I want to get one of these of my own. This is called the Steel Case Brody Work Lounge. It is an individual work pod that creates a shelter from visual distractions and provides privacy at a seated height. It has ergonomic support with technology at eye level and lumbar support. The work lounge also provides choice and flexibility by choosing to work at a desk or using the pod. Finally, the pod provides access to power for charging. One last option to share. This desk and chair combo are perfect for learning. The desk pieces can be set up as they are in the picture for cooperative learning, or they can be moved into single desks for individual tasks. The pieces are light and easy to maneuver. Does anyone remember the math class chalkboard? You come into the room and you are supposed to write in your notebook what is on the board. The only problem is the board has been written on for the 5 classes before you, so now it looks like a big cloud of dust and some faint writing. Oh, and that screeching sound the chalk would make on this chalkboard, it just hurts my ears to think about it. This whole picture is not conducive to learning. Let's look at interactive whiteboards, which promote group discussion and participation. They are an effective tool for brainstorming since notes made on the screen can be turned into text and saved to be shared and distributed later. Whiteboards are also being used for learning in a new way that wasn't around when I was in school. By adding painter's tape and post-it notes to a whiteboard, it becomes a perfect place for many projects such as storyboarding, project management, and continuous improvement. The Post-it notes lend well to this concept because they can be moved, changed, or discarded. Remember back in the day when everyone would be so excited about watching a movie in class? Half the time the projector either wouldn't work or the film would get eaten going through the machine. Or there was the slide projector. Everyone wanted to be the one to turn to the next slide when they heard the beep. Halfway through whatever the presentation was, most kids were so bored out of their minds, the only one paying attention was the one advancing the slides. The presentations were usually stale and not engaging. Today, most presentations can be brought to life, in this case via Skype. The way this meeting room is set up, it actually looks like they are all in the room together, when in reality, the three people shown on the monitors could all be on different continents. The main purpose of Skype is to connect people. People from around the world can connect through one or two-way audio, one or two-way video, one or two-way audio and video, or through text. Talking between Skype users doesn't cost a thing. It also works with many different cell phones and mobile devices, so learners can use it whenever and wherever they want. The main purpose of Skype at the Hub will be for live trainings in which the learners and/or the trainer are unable to physically be at the Hub. Another new technology I want to have access to at the Hub are virtual reality visors. The visors are able to take a person to another place and time, which is something no other learning technology can do. New Ameren office workers could benefit from a VR viewer that takes the employee on a virtual field trip to some of the Ameren power plants and key locations so they can learn about what Ameren does in other locations outside of the GOB. There is no substitute for going to a plant and feeling the heat and difficult working environment the plant workers deal with on a daily basis. But a VR viewer is a great backup plan. The last technology that I will discuss is web-based training and social media applications. A face-to-face training where the instructor reads the slides to the class from a PowerPoint presentation of 50 slides is not training. People used to consider it to be training, but now there are so many web-based trainings and social media applications available that there is no reason to be bored to tears. I particularly enjoy trainings that are created from Storyline and Rise. When done right, they both can provide trainings that are interactive and can test the learner's knowledge of the subject matter. Social media applications have come a long way in training and learning too. For example, LinkedIn is a great tool for anyone looking for information on most anything. If an employee needs to learn more about nuclear power plants, all it takes is a search on LinkedIn to find a group or two to join and watch the information pour into your feed. Another example is Yammer, which is said to be the business version of Facebook. A few reasons why Yammer is a great resource. Number one, it can help accelerate the pace in which information is shared. Yammer allows you to take information from the source and share it with the entire organization with a single action. Number two, Yammer also allows employees to connect directly and openly with people in your workforce who are regarded as experts in a specific area. Since it is captured where the entire company can see it, others can benefit from the conversation as well. It's kind of like the phrase, there are no stupid questions. If you are questioning something, chances are others are too, and they can benefit from the answer. The Hub will have its own dedicated Yammer page committed to training.